So how big would Godzilla be in Minus One? Now this is the question that many of you will have after seeing the new Toho teaser for the movie. What we are going to do is analyze the footage and compare it with what his usual body proportions and specifications are, and with that we will get a good rough estimate on how big he would be. We will also discuss his general body design as seen in the poster and teaser, and to sugarcoat it all, we will compare him to other contemporary Godzillas seen in recent times, as well as a couple of classic designs, one from the Showa era, one from the Heisei era, and a Millennium as well. So let's get into it. Let's start with the teaser and the footage showing his tail swiping away buildings and people in the streets. When we pause or slow the scene to the max, we can see to the side Godzilla's left leg right beside a 3-storied building. So with each story of an RCC building being on average 3 meters or 10 feet tall, that would put the top of the building at 10 meters right under the bent knee of a slouched Godzilla. Then next we will look at a less obscured scene of the G-Man, at least less obscured parts of him. We see one of his feet stomping the ground and sending rubble and earth all around, crackling the surface and crushing everyone underneath. Just by looking at it, we can assess that one of his toe claws would be around 3 meters or 1 story in size, around twice that of an average Japanese man in the 1940s, who were around 5 feet or 1.5 meters in height. Yeah, imagine a toe being twice your size. So, saving the best evidence for last, we will now look at the last scene of him about to bite that train, just like he did in the original movie. This would definitely be a Wolf of the Wall Street pointing scene. Anyway, this is actually the first time we would see his head and face as well, being terrifying, not unlike the ride's design, but at the same time different, as are all Godzillas. They share similarities with one another, while at the same time having unique nuanced elements. Anyway, compared to the train, which we can barely see, we can still make out that the train car is roughly half the size of his mouth. That would put his head in the size range of 9 meters or 30 feet. Yeah, I know, it seems like I'm spitting out the same numbers again and again, but I gotta be true, you know? What I see is what I see. So, since we don't have a full body image of the Minus One Gojira yet, we shall take the ride's version for this, which he really is based upon. Estimating his body height and tail is gonna be quite alright as well. Anyway, what do we have? Toe size at 3 meters or 10 feet, okay. Bent knee at 33 feet or 10 meters from the ground, and a head at 9 meters or 30 feet in size. Assessing the scale on the full image, we will take the parts and compare them to one another, head to knee, toe to knee, just to see if they all match up. And yeah, what we have seems to be a good approximation. Now let's do this our way again. Just as we assessed the size of the dragons on House of the Dragon in an earlier video, we will take Godzilla's head, copy paste it, and put one on top of another till they reach the height of the full body. Now here we have roughly 6.5 heads, and with each of them being 9 meters or 30 feet in size, we therefore get a total of 195 feet or 59 meters. So rounding it off, we have Godzilla Minus One here, standing around 200 feet or 60 meters tall. Anyway, what does his body design say? Since Takashi Yamazaki, the writer and director of the movie, has worked on Sunset on 3rd Street and the Godzilla ride, we can safely say that he likes his Godzillas a bit brown in color, rather than the blackish-grey with bluish tones which are the norm. Well, aside from Shin, who is red. This Godzilla seems to look more menacing with a bumpier skin and an angrier look, and having more rough osteoderms all over his body with rougher scales which seems to look like barnacles of some sort. He seems to resemble something of a combination of the MonsterVerse, slightly, and also of the Heisei designs, while also taking the original into context. They did say that this Godzilla will bring back the horror elements, and yeah, he does. Thus the reason why he looks more evil. Not as much as Shin though, in my personal opinion. Even his dorsal spines are scary. They are more of the Heisei design, but they have more prominent divisions between them, and also sharper tips. But what do we really know about his overall body? Well, if he is really based on the Godzilla ride's design, which he might be since Takashi Yamazaki did work on that as well, he will have a similar body proportions and, well, not much of a difference from all other normal Godzilla's frames. 2 trunky legs, medium length arms with sharp claws, a long tail, and he won't be fat like Godzilla 2014. So talking about the devil, we shall begin with a comparison, comparing Minus One to GVK MonsterVerse Godzilla. Here we have a 120 meters tall behemoth, the MonsterVerse one, against a new Godzilla which is half the height, standing at an estimation of 60 meters or 200 feet. As we said earlier, we will compare him to other Godzillas as well, now comparing him to Shin, and we get the same result, as Shin Godzilla is 119 meters tall, just 1 meter shy of the MonsterVerse version. Comparing -1 to Singular Point, we still get a large difference. SP Singular Point has a bulkier body set on dinosaurian legs. Ultima, which is his final form, has a height of 100 meters or 328 feet, 40 meters taller than -1. Comparing him to the original 1954 Godzilla is more of a fairer deal. 1954 Gojira is 50 meters or 164 feet tall, which is 10 meters or 33 feet shorter than this new king of the monsters. The Heisei version depends on the movie. Godzilla here ranges from 80 meters to 100 meters, so -1 will be either 20 meters or 40 meters shorter than his Heisei counterpart. And lastly, comparing -1 to the Millennium versions, well, we see them both at roughly the same size, with the previous incarnations, the Millenniums, being around 55 meters to 60 meters in size, the same as -1. So that's that. I hope you have enjoyed watching this video. Do hit that like button for support and subscribe to push us through the YouTube algorithm, however it may work. But most of all, smash that bell icon for regular updates and new videos here on this channel. Take care, fam.